Welcome to another edition of Ruvheneko. We are live here in Harare, and we're so happy to be here, as we will be every week going forward. And I'd like to introduce my guest. I know you've all been patiently waiting for this, and again, sorry for the delay, but we have a lot of things that we have to set up, of course, before we get going. So I'd like to introduce my guest. If you don't know already, our guest today is none other than Ms. Olinda Chapel Chideme. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So, is it Chapel? Is it Chideme?
We'll just go with Olinda.
We'll go with Olinda.
Yeah.
All right, let's
do
go
the
with
whole
Olinda.
Madonna share thing.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, Olinda, you know, we have seen a lot of you on social media. If people never knew about you before, they knew about you in the last couple of weeks. And the first question that we have, you are dating local rapper, married to local rapper, Stunner Desmond Chideme.
Yeah.
And the first question we all want to know, to put this interview into perspective, is, are you still married to him?
No.
Okay.
We have decided to go our separate ways.
Right.
I know there was a lot of drama involved during the last few weeks of our marriage. And it's been a roller coaster, very painful for me, and I would like to say also very painful for him. It's not like he's made out of stone.
Right.
He's still human at the end of the day.
Right.
But as it stands, you know, my bags are packed. I will be leaving, but we are ending this in a good way because we don't know what tomorrow holds. Our roads might lead back to each other because I still love my husband and he still loves me, and that he confirmed that, you know, I still love you, but we're just in this very messed up place.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you say is the reason for your divorce?
Well, it started off, you know, every relationship has got its own problems, like every marriage, any relationship does. But it went the extra mile when I found out that he was, that he had slept with one particular girl through a friend of his.
Right.
So this was the day that you guys saw the first original live video. And as a woman, and I'm sure a lot of women can relate, you know, when your man or your husband, boyfriend changes on you, and you're wondering, is it me? And you've got these ideas that go through your head, am I doing something wrong? Only for you to find out, and you know what, men do that, they actually make it sound like it's you, that you are the one with the problem. But when you then find out that in your marriage, it has not been just the two of you,
Right.
it's been the three of you,
Right.
right?
So every woman has something that they say, I will not stay for this. Someone will say, I'll never let my husband lay a hand on me. Someone will say, I'll never let him cheat on me. Someone will say, I'll never marry someone with the same religion as me.
Yeah.
So was your final straw and your thing that you'll leave a man for him being him cheating on you? Infidelity, is that your thing? Or were you willing to forgive him at some point?
What people do not understand is, people know I was married before, and I was married for a good 10 years. And in those 10 years, I used to be the other woman. Meaning, when I say the other woman, not the girlfriend, I was legally married, wedding rings and everything. I was that other woman that my ex-husband, and I will apologize in advance for airing this on air, cheated on me at least 18 times with 18 different women. And I can actually give you a timeline that this was from 2007, January to October.
Right.
There was Mavis,
Right.
right? And for 10 years, I was quiet. And that whole safukure hapwa, a man can do this, but in our culture, you don't leave a man for that, make it work.
Right.
And I spend 10 years of my life being miserable, being completely unhappy. And it does not work. I've been there. I know what I'm talking about.
So in this relationship, you decided to take a different stance. That this was something you were not going to take, lying down.
Yeah, I had to change myself because what was the point of me coming from that marriage, getting into another marriage, and still tolerate the things that I left that marriage for.
So cheating is something that has seemed to have followed you, unfortunately, in your marriages.
Yeah.
And your relationship with Stunner took you to a point where you broke, right? Because it's pain that you've experienced before, and you weren't going to take it for another 10 years.
Yeah.
So in your speaking about him publicly is what has brought us here today. We would not know about this if it weren't for you.
Yeah.
We would not know what Stunner does with other women or with his wife if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
If you could turn back the hands of time, would you still make the entire world know about your personal relationship with your husband and what he has done, what he has not done, how he's been how he's been cheating on you? Would you still do the same thing?
To be honest, I cannot say I would or I would not, because you have to be in that moment, in that position, to feel like that. Because I think, despite what he had done in that moment, I also had like 10 years worth of that anger that I carried forward into that marriage. And I finally exploded to say, enough is enough. It has to stop.
But why did you go public with the pain? Because
The
you are
public
not the
part-
first woman to have a husband cheat on you. You're not the first, and you won't be the last.
The public part was the day that I found out that this is what had happened, you know, after a couple of weeks of trying to figure out what was going on with my husband, and I finally had a reason, a solid, valid reason. I called him. He was not at home, and I was speaking with him on the phone, and I say to him, this is what I found out. As a typical man, he's like, no, I've got nothing to do with her, whatnot, and everything. And I knew he was lying to me because, like I said, I've been on that train before. And the telltale signs were like all over. And the one thing that was very important to my husband, as much as he sometimes comes across like he does not care about people's public opinion of him, I knew I was going to hurt him exactly where it hurt the most.
Okay, you did say this. What I want to understand from you today is something that we did not already see in any of your videos, because you have spent a lot of time expressing yourself, letting us know why you're angry, why you're hurt, why you're broken. So without being repetitive, I want to understand, would you do it differently if you had the opportunity? You would keep it?
Reason because the first day that I did the live video, during that live video, what people did not know, and including Desmond, I only told him this the day before yesterday, is there's only a very few people, like it was his cousin sisters that were there. I suffered a miscarriage on that day. I started bleeding, was on the Facebook Live, and there was blood all over. And it's something that I would obviously do differently because of the situation I was in. And I started bleeding a lot. And that's when everything was happening off camera. His cousin sisters were there, and they had to put me in the bath, start washing me up and cleaning me up and everything. And I did not want his judgment to be based on that.
That you'd
to
lost
feel
your
to feel
child.
sorry for me.
Right. Did he know you were pregnant?
No, he didn't.
Did you know you were pregnant?
Well, yes, I did, but I had not said anything to him because of the things that was happening. It was not a planned pregnancy or anything like that.
Well, as married people, you're allowed to plan that.
But I did not say anything to him. And because of that and everything that happened, I became so angry. I became so
You were emotionally charged.
angry,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And my anger, I had to have an outlet point
Right.
to let it out.
Right.
And I could not even tell him that this is what's happened to me. The only person that I could share my pain with, I could not speak to him about it. And it's just, it was emotional.
That's a lot, yeah.
So
these are things that we don't know. These are things that people didn't know, that he didn't know. Did he know this until this point?
Well, apparently he told me yesterday or the day before yesterday that somebody told him.
So he was aware of this eventually.
Yeah, but he respected the fact that I did not want to tell him.
Sure.
But he was aware that this is what had happened.
Right.
And stuff. And then obviously the days after that, the symptoms were still there. I was still getting sick and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so
you've
that
been through a lot, Olinda.
Yeah, so
you've
that
been through
point,
a lot.
At that point, like I'm saying, I was really, really angry.
Right.
Like, I was really angry. And up until this moment, I know people say that my anger is misdirected, that it should be on Desmond. He even said it himself, that, you know what, you're misdirecting your anger. The person you need to be angry at is me.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel.
But as you said, you wanted to hurt him as much as he hurt you.
Yeah.
So you were directing your anger at him, but publicly, so it hurt him more.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, I think over the last couple of weeks, we have literally had so many people speak ill about you,
Yeah.
right? It is not a joke that when you put out your first video, the very first video about what had happened, many women were on your side.
Yeah.
Feminists or not, many women broke with you in that first video
Yeah.
because of how broken you were.
Yeah.
And you have progressively, I'll call it, lost your following, because in as much as what you're saying is so real, and we talked about this interview and said this is a woman-to-woman interview, and of course we know there are men watching as well, but we're speaking about this woman-to-woman. I'm not here to, you know, it's not a PR exercise, it's just to understand something that has been put in all our faces for the last couple of weeks. It's been on our timelines, it's been our inboxes, it's been our WhatsApps, it's been everywhere. And although people will say, you know, this is not a pertinent issue, we've got other pertinent issues to discuss in the country, we acknowledge that and we'll address that. But right now, you have put yourself in a position where every woman and every man is questioning, right? Many things, not just about you, but about their own relationships, because you've raised a number of issues, Olinda. You've raised the issue of infidelity. You've raised the issue of the use of social media. You've raised the issues of celebrities and their relationships and their right to privacy. You've also raised the issue of how the balance of power happens in a relationship, right? About the breadwinner. So these are all things that we do need to look at.
To be honest with you, you know, as much as I've received, you know, some hate messages from some women calling me a disgrace to women, but most of the messages I have received, the multitude of inboxes that I have had, is women that relate to what I have gone through. There's a lot of women that are heartbroken out there. There's a lot of women that are hurting. And they're not getting fixed. Like, I mean, mentally, they're not getting fixed because society or our culture says you are not supposed to speak up. Your husband can have a small house out there, have babies, build a house with that person, and you're not allowed to say, this is hurting me.
No, I don't know if I fully agree with you, right? I don't know if I fully agree. What I would like to say is, you know, I know now we're up to about 2,000 viewers, so welcome to all of you and those still coming. But what I don't know if I agree with Olinda is when you say that you're not supposed to speak out. You are very much entitled to speak out. Our culture is designed to have structures for you to speak out. What you did is you spoke out, and you made the world.
What people
now,
actually,
you made the world,
yeah, what actually people don't realize is there had been all of that.
Right.
I have tried not to involve my side of the family because I thought we were going to work things out. We were going to make amends.
Right.
And I did not want my family hating my husband because, you know, if my brother is to see him, despite me saying, okay, my husband and I are good, he'll be like, but munano need someone. Do you get it? There will always be that because we are designed to feel like that, to automatically love our siblings. But at the same time, the people that I approached were his family. And they tried enough times to sit down with him. And
before you went live?
Before, when we were still trying to figure out what was going wrong.
Right.
Yeah, we went through all the paces.
So you did go through the processes like any woman
His
would.
family loved me.
Right.
Like his immediate family. His you know, like I lost my mom last year in May.
Yeah, you did explain
and
that.
In that time, his mom was not just my mother-in-law.
And this is some of the mother.
She became my mother. And even after all of this, she will still remain my mother. If she picks up the phone and says to me, Olinda, I'm not feeling well, I would rush to her side.
Right.
You know, they love me so much and they stand by me through a lot of things. They might not agree with one or two things, but they can testify to my character and what I've been to their family.
Let's go back to the man,
yeah,
right? Because it's one thing, you know, we know that especially in our culture, there is an immense amount of support from the immediate family. And we end up oftentimes falling more in love with who we're with because of how the family loves us, right? Let's talk about Stunner.
Yeah.
Does he love you?
I think he does.
Yeah.
To be honest, despite everything that's happened, the last 2 days we have spent, like last night, we went to bed at about 3:30. We were like up until 3:30 in the morning.
On the phone or in the same bed?
In the same, no, not in the same bed. We were on the sofa.
Okay.
Yeah, we slept on the sofa last night.
Yeah.
So we really were speaking to each other, like on a one-to-one.
A level.
Not
Yeah.
me speaking to Stana.
Okay.
I was speaking with Desmond.
Okay.
And Desmond was speaking with Olinda, the rational side of Olinda.
Because nobody knows the rational side.
No, nobody
So
does.
welcome to the rational Olinda.
Nobody does.
A few minutes into our program. We
Yeah.
hope it stays this way.
Yeah.
Because I think the other thing is people were afraid to say, why do we want to hear from Olinda
Well,
again?
you know
She's
what?
crazy.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
We know this much.
So all they saw
Look,
was
Olinda,
a very scorned
There'll be always these amazing quotations and these sexy lines
Yeah.
that we use to justify our actions,
Yeah.
but we cannot take away from that. But let me
Yeah.
let you continue.
Yeah.
Last night you had
Yeah,
a tete-a-tete with
No,
Desmond.
We've been
Yeah.
talking. This is why I think a lot of people got us misconstrued when we went onto Zimbo Live and say, give us space,
Yeah.
we need to talk.
You did
because-
say, leave us alone.
Yeah, leave
Yeah.
us alone for now. Because, you know, when we met, it was me and him. And as much as I have, and a fault, this is my fault, not his. I've taken this publicly. I've made my life public.
And
I
his.
do understand that I owe people an explanation to the end. Because they've been a part of this emotion. People have been not cooking and whatnot because they're watching Olinda.
My bundles,
My bundles,
and here we are
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Okay. And I
but-
hope this is the end, you know, because
It
my
is.
question
It
at the
is.
beginning, Olinda, was, are you two still married to each other? And you said no. And that for me says a lot. It speaks volumes because I believe Pakab Viswa Gupuro,
Yeah.
Muswe Friday.
The incident that happened with the whole Gupuro thing,
Yeah.
it had started the day before, right? I was actually on the phone with him, Kanaka. He was on his Snapchat, and he's like, on the way to the airport, I'm off to Cape Town. So I called him. I was actually sick, you know, with a cold. What is this? You're going to Cape Town? You don't tell me where you're going. It became a huge argument, right? And then I was like to him, and this is obviously, there's a lot of tension already because of what's happened. And I was like to him, oh, okay, so if you say you're going to Cape Town, I can see you guys are driving the Mercedes. Where are you guys going to leave it? We're going to leave it at the airport.
The Mercedes being your car.
Well, it's supposed to be my personal car, but we are both using it.
Okay.
Because the original arrangement was he drives the Lexus, I drive the Mercedes.
Okay.
But, so I say to him, do you not think it's wiser if I got somebody to come and pick up the car from the airport, take it home? When you come back, they'll pick you up from the airport. And I was actually thinking his brother goes and picks him up.
Right.
But because there's been a mention of a lot of material things, he started screaming and shouting at me on the phone. I am your husband. What? It became a huge argument. And then I was just there quiet on the phone, listening to this man scream and shout at me, right? To a point whereby we came off the phone, we were not talking. Following day, right, I was also at this stage where I was fed up. I picked up the phone and I called him. It was about lunch hour. And I say to him, are you still angry with me? Because that was going to decide where the conversation is. He's like, yes, I am. And I have been since your Facebook Live. And I don't know how long I'm going to be angry with you.
Right.
And I was like to him, so if you're angry with me now and you don't know how long your anger is going to last, I do not want to be the recipient of your tantrums or you being abusive towards me like you were yesterday. So as far as I am concerned, we are done.
So this was the day
Before. That was
All right.
that was the day after the airport thing happened. That was the day that he then went kunopa Gupuro.
Okay.
So the Gupuro thing was
Was it
now,
a surprise to you, or did he actually tell you first?
he did not tell me.
Okay.
I found out through a third party that this is what he had done.
He just went to your family.
So because I was on the phone, what triggered it was I said to him, "Rukuya kuzotora zvinhu zvangu." I think it's just best I can pack my things,
And
I
we
leave.
end this. Right.
And that kind of triggered
So
something.
you led toward the breakup before he went
Yeah.
and gave Gupuro.
And he's like,
I don't even know what Gupuro is in English.
so
I mean,
therefore,
but yeah.
so therefore, when I told him that I would come and get my things, next thing you know, his kwambuya vangu akunopa gupuro.
Right.
And to be honest, what I said to him in that moment, I was angry towards him.
So do you wish he could undo that? You didn't mean it. Ideally, you
What-
don't
what
want to,
I
you don't
said-
want to break up with him, ideally.
Right now, I think what is in our best interest, we're just caught up in the wrong thing.
Right.
It has become so messed up.
But do you blame yourself for any of this?
I take responsibility for all my actions.
So you feel if you hadn't gone live on this, perhaps you and him would be in a better place.
He did a song the night that I was flying out
Right.
to come to Zimbabwe. And I've been listening to it in the car. I listened to it yesterday for the first time. And we spoke about the song. And the song goes something like, I don't know if you guys can play, but it was like, he really penned his emotions. And I was like to him, is this just another song? Or were you really speaking how you're
Has the
feeling?
song been released?
Not yet.
Okay.
It is Ndoyenda. That's the name of the song. And it goes like, Pafea, Dinokuda, Asizhawaita, Hazivake Musha. Like, I do love you. But what you did, what you then went and did, Hazivake Musha.
Okay.
Ewa koya kwandiri. Wakanditi babeve mwana. Kochicha maita. Wataura nini zvakanaka. You know, it would have made a difference.
Right.
He says, when I spoke with him about this, he says, you know what, the day that you found out that I had cheated, had you taken a different approach whereby you'd have just packed and left, I would have been groveling. And then as a joke, I was like to him, yeah, but you'd be blocked on my phone. He's like, yeah, but I would still be begging for you. I would be the one on this saying,
Right.
I want my wife back.
Sure. I'm going to throw something in for a second. I mean, a lot of the time when I was reading around what was going on with the two of you, the biggest thing that came up was, is this a publicity stunt? Are Olinda and Stunna trying to gain mileage? And from what you've just said, as beautiful as it sounds on a surface level, and I suppose the intimacy of your relationship, that he penned this song, another person who's business-minded and who's an artist will think this is an opportune time to drop a song like that. Whether or not he's genuine about it, whether or not it's sincere, he would pen it and say, look, let me write the song, and it becomes a hit because it was the story of his life.
But you know what? That's a man after my own heart, because being a businesswoman, no matter where you are, you always look for opportunities, even when you're really down in the dirt.
Okay, so let me go to you being a businesswoman, because this is something that we know and don't fully know.
Right.
You know, a lot of the time, again, looking at what's been happening on social media, some people will say, oh my gosh, Olinda must really love Stunna, or Stunna must be really good at certain things, okay? Or Olinda has invested too much in this man to let him go easy. You then expose that to us on Sunday or Saturday when you showed us statements of your world remit transfers and how much money you send to this man. You send so much money to this man. Are you building a house? Are you building a school? I mean, why are you sending so much money to him, and where's that money going?
You know what? He can vouch for me. I mean, we've had this conversation. I love my husband. And maybe I don't love him as much as I did then because of what's happened. But I would have moved mountains for that man. And for me to be able to move mountains for him, that means he was doing something right at some point, right? And obviously when things went pear-shaped, that's what I was fighting for.
So out of love, you would do anything for him, i.e. send him whatever money he needs for anything. I mean, even on a level of you're the breadwinner, Olinda, you know, I'm not trying to get into your finances or anything,
Right, okay.
but you sent a lot of money to him.
But that's me.
Was he not able to take care of himself?
Let's generalize this. Despite Desmond being my husband, that is me.
Okay.
Whether it's with family members,
you're generous.
Whether it is with anybody that comes to me and say they've got a problem, even with friends, strangers, I'm like that. This is something that I get from my mom. You know, my mother was one of those women that she was never stingy. You'd buy groceries for my mom would give them away. But she gets left without, right? That is how I grew up. That is how I was raised.
Right.
I am not, and I guess when you give as well, because if you have to give, you know, your hand is like that. But being like that, it also means you get to receive back.
Yeah.
And
do you receive anything from him?
From Des?
Yeah.
He's done one or two things for me, but I cannot
like
say
what?
On the same things that he's done for me that are not on a money level.
Okay, it's not materialistic.
It's not materialistic.
Okay, sure.
He's been a great dad to my two
children.
boys.
Yeah.
Right? With my oldest, you know, I got to a point where I'd take a step back. I would not even go out with him or anything. He was like his entourage.
He'll handle it, yeah.
Yeah, they would go together. They would be together. I mean, that was his last Instagram picture.
Sure.
He was with my boy.
I'm glad you've talked about your kids, because the other thing that came up is, as a mother, what is this doing to your children? When you went on Facebook Live, blind with rage, fury, anger, you rightfully said there's nothing like hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. But did you think about your children? And I mean, for you to do it repeatedly, one has to think. I mean, your oldest is 16. Olinda.
My youngest is oblivious to all these things that's happening.
But your oldest?
Even when I say to him, I'm going to Zimbabwe, are you going to see Daddy? Are you going to be swimming with Daddy? Tell Daddy this. There's that relationship.
But then there's also this engine called Google. That when that child then grows up and he Googles his mother, he's going to find these things.
But I believe I have raised my kids so well, you know, because my oldest is 16. I had him when I was 17. I've basically grown up myself with my son.
Right.
And right now, he's very angry. And his anger is not at me. He's angry at this man.
But you've exposed your man's weaknesses, right? When they say...
No, I have not. Yeah. He's angry at him because what people actually do not realize, you know, and I'm not saying this to bash Des, right? I've got pictures in my phone of this girl, this Dion girl, with my son. Desmond was
I'd rather, for the purpose of the interview, we don't mention her name. Because there's no confirmation about your accusation of him dating her. We don't have that information. We don't have those, but we don't. You get it? So for the purpose of this interview, I'd like us to focus on you.
Right.
And focus on Des.
We're talking about my son.
Yeah.
We're talking about my son and how this has affected him.
Sure.
I have got, this is some of the things that triggered my anger. Desmond was taking my son to be around these girls, right? These girls are his age. And
your son's age?
My son's age. And at some point, my son actually thought he had met girlfriend material or whatever and stuff. Do you get it? So I've got loads of pictures of this girl with my child. It's like, imagine this society that we're in. He's got his daughter.
I understand.
Where would I be right now?
No, that's offside. I mean, on any level.
On any level.
Anyone who's sane.
And then the recent thing that happened, the Snapchat of him grabbing this girl's thighs and whatnot, was not sent to me.
It was sent to your son.
It was sent to my son.
Right.
So my son is really angry.
What are you doing about that? Because you've got a lot to manage right now. You know, you're a woman who's got to deal with your own heart. Then you've got children that you've got to raise in the correct way. They're in very delicate years in their life with how they decide how they view man, how they view woman, and it is very important for you to align them to make sure that, one, your son doesn't become a Desmond or doesn't, go
I've
the
been
other
raising
extreme.
my son from day one not to be that kind of man because there's another man that's a part of his life that's already like that.
Sure.
So I've been coaching him from day one that you treat women with respect.
Right.
Hence why he does not understand why this is happening to his own mother.
Sure.
Right?
So I want to know why you came back this time. You came back to pack your things or you came back hoping to reconcile?
No. This time I was really fed up and angry. And I was like, you know what? Initial drama, a lot of people set us down. You can make this work. You can do this. You can do that. To a point whereby the 2 weeks after all this happened, my kids came back to England. They went to school. They were with their dad. They went to school. Everything was fine. It was just me and him in the house. And it was amazing. When I mean it was amazing, we were like really talking. Things were fine between us. He would come home appropriate time. He would have his dinner. It was like we were going through the paces. But I knew it wasn't going to fix things because my idea was, until we are sorted, I'm not going to go home. I've got people that run my company for me, so I'm good. I will stay here. I'll be the wife. And to a point where I thought, you know what, after 2-3 weeks, we were in a good enough space. And I say to him, you know what, babe, I think I'm going to go home. Dega. I think I'm ready to go home because I've got work that needs sorting out. I need to get back with the kids. And we take it from there. But as soon as I left, all hell broke loose yet again. And some have come up with the notion that probably he was just waiting for me to get on that flight. And
do you think that?
No.
Because you
I
have
am choosing not to think
that way.
Because what I'm trying to do after having our conversation is I am trying to take the positive out of this. Because as a woman...
What is the positive out of this?
The positive out of all of this, I'm going to remember the good times that I've had with that man.
Okay.
The man that he was, the man that worshipped and loved me, the man that was good to my kids, the man that sent me midnight kisses every day for like 6-8 months.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
I'm going to take that away with me because I'm not going to choose to take the bad stuff.
Right.
Because if I take the bad stuff, if I take the pain, the hurts, and everything else, I am going to leave. I go with this, and then what? How is that going to fix my life? Because the plan from here is Olinda gets back to being Olinda.
This is what I want us to focus on,
Yeah.
especially. I mean, we're going to take your messages after the break. Lots of your messages coming through. Don't worry, we see them and we hear you. Just to finish off our segment here, Olinda, one of the things that you have emphasized on is the financial aspect of your relationship. Once you get angry, you start reminding people what you do for him, what it is that you bought for him, all of those things. So I want to come to that and say, when we talk about Olinda, we also look at the duration of your relationship with this man. And one of the speculated issues is that you paid your own lobola.
No.
That's not true.
No. I've been honest with everything
Okay.
else. If I had, I would really be open about it to say, this is what has happened.
Right.
But no.
Okay.
No.
The other thing that has come up as well is karma, right? That at some point you were married to a man called Byron Fundira.
No, I wasn't.
No?
No, I was not married to him. The issue that is
There was
at
a
hand...
Gaynor Fundira
Yeah.
who went on live as well.
You know what?
There
Actually,
wasn't Facebook Live at the time, but she released a live video in
Yeah.
a similar manner to the one that you did. And you seem to have been the woman in question
No,
about
I
what
was
she
not.
was upset about.
Yet again, social media took the wrong thing and ran with it.
Yeah.
But
They
because
ran far.
I'm actually glad that
Yeah.
you've brought this up because for over 2-3 years of this happening, I have never bashed that woman because I knew what she was going through personally. The history of it, and this is the story, what actually happened.
If
and
you could summarize it really quickly,
Yeah,
because
I
that's
would.
not the focus of today,
No,
but
no,
it is
no.
something that came up.
Yep,
So
that's
if you
fine.
could just
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
What came up, what happened was, I used to work for Gaino and her husband before I opened my own company. I was their operations director. So basically, I was their second in command. So when the husband was away, right, Gaino was never hands-on with the business. I never met the woman during the whole year and a couple of months that I was actually within the business, right? It was only when the husband made a very inappropriate pass at me, I handed in my resignation. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this with you, right? At the end of that month, the husband, being very vindictive, chose not to pay me. And he was not answering my calls. And at that point, I'd shipped over some cars and some trucks to Zimbabwe, and I needed to pay duty. So what I then did is I called Gaino, and I was like to her, "My Fundira, this is the situation. I'm no longer with your company, but your husband is refusing to pay me." And she's like, "Oh, are we able to sit down and talk face to face? Because I've got issues going on with Byron." And I was like to her, "Okay, I'll meet you at the office." Whilst I was driving from Oxford to High Wycombe, she called me. "I'm at the office, but Byron has called police to the office. I am not allowed to access my own property." I spoke with the police officers. I was like to them, "As far as I am concerned, this woman actually owns the property. It's her name that's on the mortgage and everything. Why are you refusing for her to enter the property and everything?" She's like, "No, that's fine. Let's meet at a coffee house." We met at a coffee house. She had a wad of papers like this. Evidence that I saw, one document was Byron had went and taken a second mortgage against their property, forged her signature. It was £75,000 worth of money.
Okay, this sounds like a whole other chapter.
Yeah, yeah.
So the long and short of it is that is a misunderstanding, and it's not true.
So what actually
I
happened was...
I don't know if people mind whether it's true or
the
not.
day
but
after...
I had to ask it because it has come up
Yeah, let
repeatedly.
me conclude really quickly.
Yeah.
The day after I met her, because I also gave her information to aid what she was trying to do for herself. It was another woman in distress. The day after, that's when she did the whole Facebook Live, because she had sort of like absconded. She was supposed to get sectioned in a hospital. She ran away from hospital. At about 8 in the morning, first it started off with a phone call at 5 in the morning. I received a call from High Wycombe Police Station asking me where Gaino was. They thought I was with Gaino, but I wasn't.
Okay.
And at 8 in the morning, I'd gone to Western Union to send money over for the trucks. My mom was actually at my house. The police came over and they searched my house looking for Gaino, thinking I was hiding. I was hiding her from all this that was happening, right? And then I picked up the phone. My mom actually said to me, if this woman is your friend, tell her to go home. So I called her. She did not pick up her phone. I texted her, Gaino, the police have been to my house. Can you, if you need me to come pick you up, I'll pick you up and take you home. Sure. At this point, Gaino had already put out that she had caught her husband in bed with their babysitter. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I don't look like anybody's nanny or anybody's babysitter.
Okay, no,
yeah.
Olinda, I'm going to
so
have
you're
to
with
cut
me.
you there. No,
yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I think the long and short of it is that
it wasn't me.
True.
It wasn't me.
We can take it. We're not gay, nor we're not in that, but it was something that has come up repeatedly, saying maybe karma is playing its hand on me.
I actually helped the woman.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. And as you know, of course, it is St. Valentine's Day today. Those of you that observe it, some of us wore red, just for you. But we also have some giveaways, okay? We've got African Fire. They've given us 4 giveaways for you. African Fire is a local jewelry company. They manufacture, design their jewelry locally. And there are 4 giveaways, which you're going to get into at the very end of the program. So do have your keypads close, because I'm going to ask a few questions. And if you answer them first, you get to walk away with a gift. If you've been slacking and haven't bought your partner a gift yet, this is the opportunity to give them one. So we're going to give those away later. But of course, as we come back from the break, we're going to take your comments and your questions to Olinda as we finish off this program. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Ruvheneko Live. The hashtag is Ruvheneko Live. We are live here in Harare, and we are speaking with Olinda. And we getting to the bottom of everything that we have witnessed over the last couple of weeks regarding her marriage to Stana Desmond Chideme, who we all know as Stana the rapper here in Zim. And she's clarified that at this juncture, they're no longer officially married. Stana did marry Olinda last year. He did what we do traditionally. He paid his bridal price, and they did not... Then after that, they had a number of issues, and up until this point, up to today, they're no longer together. Stanaka Visa Gupuro on Friday, and Olinda, who lives and is based in England, flew back in order to pack her things so that they could officially end their relationship. It seems as though there's obviously a lot of emotion and tension going on. I don't think any of us can manage this level of pressure. Not all of us have perfect relationships or perfect marriages. But it's very difficult to handle the situation in the position they've put themselves in, where everything is in the public eye. So she's here now to hopefully have us see her for the last time on Facebook Live. I believe you can't go live on your own Facebook anymore. Did you get blocked?
I can. Somebody reported me, but now
so you were blocked. Because wangawanyanya.
I know, right? I know.
Wangawanyanya Olinda.
Do you know when you do stuff like that? For a moment, you're like in a trance.
No,
seriously.
1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 hour, 4.
At some point, I would zoreke. You know, like...
People try to restrain you. I believe one of the videos even had Stana's own mother saying, Olinda.
Do you know what?
Mwanangu.
No, it wasn't his mom. It was somebody else. You know, like, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
You cannot keep saying that, because you are not the first woman to be scorned.
No,
you are not the first woman to be furious. But no, let's not. I don't want to get into a debate of my opinions, because it's not about me.
It's not about that, but it's about individuals. People deal with their emotions, their heartbreak in different ways.
100%.
Thank God. You know what? I see this as a blessing. Thank God I went on Facebook Live because, for example, this morning when I woke up, there was something about some man that killed his wife because he found used condoms. where would I be right now if I had killed my husband?
No, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so
that
one
was
thing,
not worst case scenario.
No, sure.
You know, people have done worse
Right.
because of pain.
Right.
But I just chose to vent in that way.
In that way.
God
And as you
forbid-
said, if you could undo it, you would.
Yeah.
Right? You wouldn't do
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our Facebook platform and get your comments coming in now. There's plenty. One of the comments here is from Alicia Taylor. Hello, Alicia. She's obviously one of our over 3,000 viewers now. Alicia says, this is in regards to the first, I think, very emotive thing you mentioned earlier about your miscarriage. Alicia asks, how can the doctors not know that you were pregnant when they did weight loss surgery on you? You did mention in your video that you had gone through reconstructive surgery, so that's her question.
Well, I did not have weight loss constructive surgery. What I got done was a gastric balloon.
Okay.
And it was not done in England, it was done in Turkey.
Okay.
Right? It was just them inserting a balloon into my stomach, but it got so, they didn't do it correctly, it became so embedded in my antrum that my stomach, I could not keep anything down, not even water. And the fact that I flew back to England the same day, right? The cabin pressure made the balloon blow up a whole lot more. So I was in a lot of excruciating pain.
Right.
Hence why the following day, the same day I went to hospital, they had to take it out. That was the only way they could do it. So there was no nip and tuck or cutting off anything.
Okay.
It was only a
Because
balloon.
you did mention in your video that I went through reconstructive surgery to lose weight for you,
they call it
etc.
weight loss surgery,
Yeah.
but it was
But
bariatric
did the doctors
surgery.
not figure all of this out about
No.
your pregnancy during all this time?
And me being pregnant
Yeah.
was actually, like I said, it was not intended because I was actually on a coil. But the coil moved. It was not in place. They could not find the strings or anything like that. So it was nothing that was planned.
So this was, birth control gone wrong. One of those 0.1% chances that we all read about.
But
Fair enough.
as a mother, it is something that happened.
Sure.
And it is something that I would really, like, I've mentioned it because it was, you wanted to understand why I was, the other reasons why I was in so much pain that I did not share with people on that day. But this is what happened.
Okay.
So,
sure. Some questions here. Patience Patricia Mupfupi, hello Peishi. She says, if she knew what she knows now about Stana, would she still have gotten involved with him?
I do not understand. What do I know about him now?
That he cheated on you, that he could cheat on you. Obviously, when you got married, did you know that?
Well, when we got married, I did not think that he would. He spoke so highly of him that I'm not that man.
But you did mention one of your videos that everybody told you.
Yeah, well, that's what everybody was saying about him. But he was this guy that when people came into my inbox, he would be like, you know what, the more you go into my wife's inbox, the more he would be posting all these things. The more I love her, the what he reassured me through it all that you know what,
gonna be that way.
that he was all about me.
Sure.
And as far as the conversation with the cheating, what he has said to me has transpired with this particular girl. I'm not trying to bash anybody or put anybody down. Is the initial thing, it was just one of those, because we had been arguing. He just called her up, where are you? Meet me at a friend's house. Went over, had sex with her. It was done. It was meaningless. He left, right? Again, the Snapchat, the day he came from the Gupuro thing, he's like, I was so mad. I was looking for the first thing that I could get my hands on to solidify that, this marriage is over.
Yeah.
And she's the first person I thought of. And she was like to him, oh, how come I don't know you that you're still with your wife? And he's like, put it on Snapchat. I'm not with her.
I see.
And then he's like, in that moment, he said to himself, Des, what are you doing?
Okay.
He
No,
got up.
I wouldn't want you to speak on his behalf.
Yeah, and I'm
because
telling
he's
you
not-
what
yeah,
I'm telling you
it's
what
he's
he said
told
to
you.
me.
Yeah.
And I'm not
No.
saying it's true, because probability is
Yeah.
he's going to this girl and he's telling her a totally different
This
story.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think that one, let's just power through some of
Yeah.
these questions.
So
Okay,
this is
keep them
what he
coming
has
through.
said.
Right. Okay. And then another question here. What business does she have? Right. Another question is, who is Olinda? Who is
Okay.
Olinda Chapel? Unoita Basari, what do you do? And
Okay.
what are you about? I think just out of interest.
All I'm about, to be honest, besides everything that's happened in the last year and couple of months, my life before then has been, I'm a very hardworking person. And all I do is I put on my trainers every day. I'm not even in high heels. I don't even bother with that. As much as I love shoes, I do my school run in the morning. I go to work. From work, I come home. I continue with my kids, and it's just about work and my kids, and that's it. In regards to what I do, I'm a company director. I'm a sole director. Gain Healthcare. Gain Healthcare has now become sort of a group of companies because it's branched out to other aspects. But the main business has been recruitment. People kind of mix it up with a care agency. I do not run a care agency. I provide staffing. So it's recruitment. Okay. So I supply staff to different health and social care sectors. Sure. So that's my main business, but I also am involved in medical supplies and a lot of other things that I've been doing. Sure. But unfortunately, because of what's happened between me and Des, Zimbabwe was becoming my home. The only thing that was holding me or tying me down here was my mom. She passed away. I no longer have family. And it was Desmond. Right. Now that he's out of the picture, I will be pulling out any of my business interests from this country and focusing on
what's outside.
Yeah.
Okay, that answers that. Another question here from NM Tandi. Please kindly advise her to seek professional help. Do you think you need professional help?
I agree with her. I am, like I said, I work within health and social care. This has been traumatizing, right? I need to sit down and speak with somebody, a professional. Like, even with, you know, I'm not trying to compare myself because I know I get backlashing for this. The Kim K's and everybody else out there, they've got therapists, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. And I think, you know what? I do need to have some serious one-on-one time because there's still a lot of things that
are bottled up inside.
Yeah, that I need to. And Des has been wonderful enough the last 2 days to answer each and every question. Because when a man cheats, women can relate. You want to know how, when. Did he take his clothes off? Did he kiss her? Did he what? Those are questions that, you know, as crazy as they sound, we ask. Yeah. Because we want to know as women. So I still have a few things that I need to resolve.
Are you aware that, I mean, you know, back to this issue of people just thinking that you are crazy, you know, besides being hurt, that you're crazy, where social media opens a lot of people, even younger than you, some people who might now look at you and think, oh, this might be the way to go. Do you take any responsibility for the social responsibility you have now, having made yourself so public and coming even on a platform like this with all these viewers?
I got a lot of backlashing, especially from my family, to come and sit down and talk to you. But the thing is, what people have seen is they've only seen that side of me. There's some people that have been following me, you know, genuinely following me, taking an interest in my life. They know the kind of person I am.
But you presented a different side to everybody else. So, you know, nobody's going to be kind to you.
But that's the one that
I mean, I've got backlash on your behalf because of today's interview.
I know. But, you know, what they saw is what they chose to see. Reason because the people that have been genuinely following
what
me.
we chose to see, Olinda. For example, even when you were holding pills that day, were you being serious or were you just being dramatic?
At some point, the pain was so bad.
But were you being serious?
This was now after the whole blood thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But were you really going to take those pills?
At that point,
because I remember at that point, you know, people walked in. It really looked like a staged reality show.
At that point,
people were like, no, this woman is not stable.
At that point, it could have happened, but it didn't.
Right.
And it's not something that I would say, you know what, I am suicidal or anything, because it was just breaking point. You know, what people need to understand is I'm not trying to defend myself. I'm not trying to, you know, say I was right. I am the victim. I am this. I am taking complete
ownership,
100% responsibility for my actions. For what my husband did, he hurt me. Yeah. Ruvheneko, he really
No, I don't think anyone takes that away from you, Olinda.
No, they have.
No.
They have. Because they're telling me.
But it's how you then continued. You get it?
That was my way.
That first video was
No.
Let's assume that first video was even permissible.
I'm really sorry, but I will not allow anybody to tell me or dictate how I'm supposed to feel when I am hurting. Not about conducting my life, but when you're hurting, you're going through a serious emotion. Right? And what I was doing was giving me some sort of relief.
But Olinda, because you do not put your business in public, although you were angry and scorned.
Where were they when all these things were happening behind closed doors? When we were having matare, trying to figure out what was going on with my husband, because at some point He was not himself.
But did you think that those public rants would actually get your husband back? Or did you realize that at that point you were on your journey to
Do you know what?
divorce? Because very few men, when it comes to ego and pride, Olinda would forgive something like that. The things that you said, I mean, let's be fair here as women. They always say the things that men need are money, pride, and respect. If you money, love, and respect, sorry, if you give them those things, then they're good.
But again,
so for me,
it comes back. I'm not disagreeing with you, but it comes back to when you are hurting and you are angry, you actually lose. You go through this temporary insanity thing that goes on with you. But you lose control.
Because okay, so you are now admitting in retrospect that this was not the best way to go about it.
No, it wasn't.
And if you could do it differently, you would.
But I am
explaining. It doesn't take away how hurt you were.
But I'm explaining that in that moment, if you ask me now, would I do it differently? I would say, you know what, I would. But that's why I even say to you, I cannot promise that I would. Because maybe at that point, I would just go buy a shotgun and decide to shoot him dead. God forbid. But in that moment, because of the hurt and the pain, it just happened. Okay. And you're like in a trance, and then you ask yourself after, what the hell was I thinking? This is not me.
Right.
And I guess that's why he was also in shock, because he's like, no, that's not the woman I married.
Right.
Because I even have...
At some point, you lose each other completely.
Yeah.
Let's come back to our Facebook platform, because we now have over 12,000 viewers. And there's a lot going on this platform. So, question here is 2, right, comments. You have a striking resemblance to Pokello. And then another one here.
Don't blame me for that.
Yeah.
If he's got to type, he's got to type.
He's got to type.
If he's got to type, he's got to type.
Not my
fault.
Well. Okay. And another comment, Grace Ann says, why keep mentioning Pokello? The hairstyle and the lipsticks, that's Pokello style too. What's up with that?
I do not think so. 4 years of my high school, I had this haircut. My friends know that. I had a haircut like this for 4 years. 3 years ago, if you go on my Instagram or pictures, I had a hairstyle like this. So this is not about looking like Pokello. I've owned this way before she even had it. But you know what? Let me tell you something. The woman's got style. And I am not one to put another woman down just to make myself feel good. Okay. She looks good in her clothes. She dresses well. God, if I was lesbian, I would go for her. But yeah. That's nothing to do with
okay, well,
anything.
Let's not just call her the woman, okay?
Yeah.
She is an ex, right?
Yeah.
So this is why it's contextual.
Yeah. No.
It's only because Pokello is an ex of Stunner. So, I mean, there's a sort of speculation that you went to her actual barber to get the exact same hairstyle that she has currently.
That I was referred to that barber. I did not even know that was her barber.
Okay.
And Des would know where I got the reference from. It was not. I did not even know that was a barber. But nonetheless, I'm now growing my hair out because I want to. And I think you've all noticed that my hair's grown in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, like I said, I will not put the woman down. I think she's got great taste. I think she's beautiful. I think, she's who she is. And if we kind of look alike, then yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
And why did you keep mentioning her in your videos, though? It seemed as though there was some kind of maybe interest or something that bothered you?
She kind of stepped out of line.
At which point?
At a few times. The Thursday before we got married, she sent a text, and Des was like, Pokello's texting me. He was like, shocked himself. Pokello's texting me. Why is she texting me? And he showed me the text. The text was, Wangu, I heard you're getting married this weekend. And he's like to her, it's none of your business. Please don't text me. And then she continued from there and said, oh, but I thought you said you were done. Right? So I did not know whether at some point Des had said to her, no, we can't get married because he's done on marriage as somebody that had been married before. Or maybe he had gone to her and told her that,
I
what,
I was going to
I'm
say,
done
you don't
with
just
Olinda.
Open a phone and see a message. Like there must have been context.
I don't know. But this is what transpired. And I was just thinking, you know what? For somebody that is somebody's wife, right, that was a little bit disrespectful on my relationship, on me as a woman, from another woman who is somebody else's wife. She shouldn't have done that. And then the other second incident that was there, I was at the hairdresser's, and her friend, I don't know if I'm allowed to name names, but there was a friend of hers that was in the same salon as me. I was on the phone with Des's mom, and I was having a conversation with her. And her friend picked up this conversation, told Pokello. Pokello picks up the phone, calls Des, and repeats the conversation I was having with my mother-in-law. And I'm just thinking, woman.
Well, it must have kind of been a private conversation if you're having it in a hair salon. We all know as women.
Yeah, but it wasn't nyaya like that.
Yeah.
It was a conversation I was having with my mother-in-law,
Okay, fair.
which I thought was appropriate enough to be having in a hair salon.
Sure.
But I just thought, woman, why can't you stay the hell out of my life? Why you conversations in the hair salon? Why do you think you feel the need and tell my husband all those things, you know?
All right. I think if that's, I mean, this is something that has just come up. Again, it sort of repeated. And there were memes all over the internet at some point when you got the hairstyle, you know, you might as well go try look like her. So all those things came up, and I must mention them, and I'm glad you've addressed it, because if there's a history behind it, it then is understandable where there would have been a bit of shade thrown on both sides. But we can move on from that one as we now etch toward wrapping up our program. Now, we are going to now obviously just ask you one last question at this point. Where to from now? The woman, Olinda, obviously needs to pick her life up and carry on. You are a mother, you are an employee, you're a business owner. You've got a life out there.
No, I
so
do.
What now?
A very good one for that matter.
According to the memes, there are many men lined up waiting to be blessed by you.
Good Lord,
as well.
My inbox. And do you know what's even worse, Ruvheneko? Do you know, Maripa number one, Pacho, the one that were running into my inbox? Shamar is that Desmond.
They also want to be kept
His
like
friends,
you kept him.
they, and it's quite disgusting. But as far as I am concerned, relationship-wise, for Olinda, right, this is too fresh out of a marriage. Dee and I are going to keep in touch. We are going to talk. Who knows? Roads might lead back to each other. We might go separate ways. But if it's not with him, right, whatever man that is going to come into my life, God knows what mountains that man has got to move to get even my phone number or a first date. That person really has to walk on water.
Right.
That's as far as I am concerned. I've got these walls that are now like really high.
Okay.
And it's going to take a while because I still also have to work through my emotions
feelings,
because like I said, I very much ask me, yes, my relationship has come to an end. Do I still love that man wholeheartedly? Yeah? So I still have to work through all that until, you know what? I'm free of that love or whatever it is. And so that's the relationship side of things. And in regards to the day-to-day things, you know, is Olinda's got her stuff packed. I'm going to leave. And when I leave, I'm going to go back and do what I do best, which is work.
So can we get a commitment from you today, right? This is not me trying to be the police or anything,
right,
or Mark Zuckerberg. But can we say that today marks the end of, for a while at least, of Olinda on Facebook Live? Aiwa.
I'm not allowed to say good afternoon.
Tasquera, tarara, tamuka, tiribo.
No. I think the most important thing, to be honest with you, is I'm going to really try and get, I don't know how much I'm going to spend on this, but I'm going to get Google to remove anything search-worthy. I want my life back.
So this means that you will not do anything from this point. No. So please look at her and look at her good. There are no tears. Hapana madziwa. Okay, she's not breathing, puffing, or panting. This is Olinda as you see her.
People have told me.
No, she's beautiful. She must pick up her life and move on, you know, all that stuff. So, you know what? This is Charles Mufakos. He says she's beautiful. She must focus on life. So there's a lot of support for you.
That's what we're going to do. It's going to be, if anything, if anybody is to hear of me, I want it to be based on my strengths, which is my work and the things that I want to do.
So let's go back. Let's focus on that. But for the men that are looking at you as a potential when you're ready and you're healed, the other thing that they're scared of is that you will be that woman that will continue to paint men in a bad light and say, "Damtengera chakati, dazodai." You know, why mention all those things?
I don't think
why are you that woman? I don't think men do that.
I don't think that will be a problem because if I am completely moved on from Des and my relationship with him, the next man that has to come there, bank statement as part of the search criteria to show that, you know,
you're looking for something different.
Yeah. So when I say, babe, I need that Porsche Panamera, he'll be like, black card, go and get you, you know, fix your stuff.
All right. Well, you heard it from her. I'm gonna have to come to you. Of course, as I said, our exciting gifts. We have some very fun giveaways for you. This is from African Fire. Okay, so if you can come closer, I don't know if you can come really close. and see what we have to give away here. This is a gift for a couple, or maybe even best friends. I don't know. It says a day of love. So whoever it is that you love, whether it's your grandmother, your mother, your lover, your friend, they're these hearts, right? They separate. They're made of silver, as I said, locally made. So you put one, it's a pendant, and you put one on the other. So this is what we're giving away. So to give away these, we're going to ask a couple of questions. The first question we're asking is, what was my first Facebook Live show here on Ruvheneko Live? What was my first Facebook Live show? Close this box. That's for one winner, the first winner. Okay, so our team is going to put together those answers and let us know. And then the other question is, where are my studios? Here in Harare, where is Ruvheneko Live shot? Where do we shoot from? What is our location? And then the other one is, what is Olinda Chideme's favorite local song? And then the other question is, what is the name of the company that's giving us these amazing Valentine's gifts? So let us know the answer to those questions, and we will give away those prizes to lucky winners. So while we find out who's winning those prizes, in the spirit of love, it's always good to have friends with amazing talents and amazing voices. To wrap up our show and to serenade you all, I'd like to put this time toward a personal friend who's really good at basketball. We play, and he is amazing. But he's also even better at his God-given talent, which is singing. And I'd like to welcome now to my show, Mr. Brian Kadengu. Hey, thank you for coming. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine.
Yeah.
Do I not get a hug as well?
Amen, or maybe he's scared.
Thank you.
He doesn't want to come too close. All right, Brian, how are you doing?
I'm right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You
Okay,
guys
yeah.
are looking good.
Thanks for coming. I know you're busy these days.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
There's so much sauce in this studio.
So much.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to give you the stage, all right, the couch,
Right.
whatever, you know. Do what you do best. Make the ladies feel like heaven. I mean, I'm comfortable. You comfortable?
I'm comfortable.
Yeah, you know.
I think the only thing that's missing is a couple of glasses of wine or vodka or
Champagne
something.
or something,
Yeah.
you know?
Strawberries on
We
cream.
need to work on that. Team, did you
Yeah.
hear that? We need to speak to our
What
production
happened?
team about that. All right, let's hear it.
You are my African queen. Your beauty is so real. Good skin, brown eyes, hair so natural. The heavy machine.
Yeah.
You are my African queen. Your beauty is so real. Yeah. Good skin, brown eyes, hair so natural. The heavy, 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 heavy.
My word.
Oh, the heavy machine.
Wow.
Dilemos kana, akanaka.
All right. Somebody.
Anemuriri wakawakwa zvakanaka. Ane ganda ritema, haana kuchuka zvenema. Hapana kachuka zvenema.
Nah.
She's
All natural.
all natural. I'm proud to call her my lady. She's my African queen.
Oh, wow.
Her beauty is so real. Good skin, brown eyes, hair so natural. The heavy
Yeah.
machine.
Hair so natural. Yeah.
She is my African queen. Yeah. Your beauty is so real. Good skin, brown eyes, hair so natural. The heavy, 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 heavy. Oh, the heavy machine. I want you guys to help me sing.
Okay.
Okay.
The heavy machine. I can't even. The heavy machine. The heavy, 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 heavy. Oh, the heavy machine. She is so intelligent. Conversations always making sense. Whenever my spirits are low, her smile brightens up my day. She completes me, always there to pick me up when I fall. She completes me, I'm proud to call her my lady. Yeah, she is my African queen. Her beauty is so real. Dark skin, brown eyes, hair so natural, the heavy machine. She is my African queen. Her beauty is so real. Yeah. Dark skin, brown eyes, hair so natural, the heavy, 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 heavy. Oh, the heavy man. Shame, yeah.
Can I make a request? Can I make a request?
Yeah, we're talking about this. I don't know if you'll be happy to sing another local artist song, but today I was listening to...
Look at his face. He's like, why would I do that?
You have to make
What
my
for?
day. For me, come on. It's Ngoni's song, Jean Ondita, so... There's got Ngoni to sing for me and for my birthday last year, and it's my favorite local song.
Alright, let's see.
Let's see. Sorry, Ngoni.
Winners.
I'm not too sure if I know the lyrics, but let me
Okay,
just try.
we'll try and fill the gaps.
Just do the hook or
Já
something.
unondita so, jino garage chindi tirabo,
Handi shina kana mamwe
mashoko. Baby, já unondita so, jino garage chindi tirabo,
Handi shina kana mamwe
mashoko.
Jeans were so.
You know, I think that is not his song. I think you did good. All right, you did good. I like your music too. Okay, so no, Brian, thank you so much. We already have 2 winners so far, I believe, for these prizes. So we have African Fire giving us 2 prizes. So the first winner is Rosie on Facebook, and then the other winner is Dudley Chizura and Rosie. We'll be in touch with you to let you know the details where you can pick up your prizes. And then we've got 2 more still waiting for the correct answer. Asachine, let's be serious. Let's be very, very serious. So we need to... no, I'm going to request one song. You know, it's one of my favorite songs in life. And it's by Lauryn Hill and the Fugees. Can we do it? Yay.
They're killing me softly.
Turn your lights down low.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Very important.
Yeah.
Very, very important. We've got 2 more winners, okay, that we're waiting for. Get the answers right, guys.
Do you intend to
And
be
then we're
turning
gonna
your
give
lights
these away.
down low today?
I mean,
Yeah. She's ready for it.
it.
So what am I supposed to do? You know, we're still in the same house.
This
and
is the single woman struggle. But
Yeah.
there are many women out there and
We're
men
still
that
in
can
the
help
same
you through it.
house. We're still in the same house
I
for
think,
all time's
I
sake.
think you can book your flight for the morning, and one more night go hang out with your girlfriends.
For all time's sake. Just
And
kind of
I'm
remind a
chopping
brother what he's
I'm
going to do
chopping
this
today.
week.
I'm chopping today. All right, we've got our last 2 winners. That's Tinashe Godfrey and Maureen Kademaunga. All right, Maureen Kademaunga. Hi, Maureen. It's nice to see that you're watching. She was on my set last week. So Maureen and Tinashe Godfrey, congratulations. So those are our 4 winners for our African Fire jewelry this afternoon. So we'll let you know the details of where you can get that. And to shut down our show, Brian K is going to give us one of my favorite songs ever.
Turn your lights down low and pull your window curtains. Oh, let Jamu come shining into our lives again. Saying
I love you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think so. And I want you to know right now. Know right now.
Say, ooh, I love you. And I want you to know right now that I wanna give you some love, yeah. I want to give you some good loving. Oh,
Yes.
I want to give you some good loving. Take it away, Ruby.
Oh, loving you was like a song I replay every 3 minutes and 30 seconds of every day. And every chorus was written for us to recite every melody of beautiful devotion every night. And this is not my department.
They need to go have their own Valentine's.
But it's genuinely one of my favorite songs. So we're going to wrap up now. Brian K., thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
We know that you are young, single, with a lot of love to give. So please do go and enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. We will not keep you. All right? Yeah, don't go breaking any hearts, though. Okay? But yeah, Olinda, thank you very, very much for being here. And I hope that we have agreed that this would be, I hope, the last that we'll see.
It is. This is all done and dusted.
Yeah.
You know, the next time that people hear about me, I want it to be in a positive light. And
you're a woman with a lot to give.
No,
right?
it's basically it's what I'm calling the emancipation of me.
I like it. I like it.
Where I go there, I fix myself, and you know, just take care of me. It's called self-love. That's all I'm giving me right now, and just being the woman I was born to be, and this strong, independent
100%.
person, and you know, be an example to my kids that the woman that they're gonna marry is gonna be like their mom, despite my mistakes.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Olinda.
Wonderful.
And that's
Thank
it
you.
from us on Ruvheneko Live for today. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting you. As you know, this program is going to bring you anything current. As long as it's current, as long as it's an affair, whatever it is that it covers, be it politics, sport, business, social, celebrities, we are here to give you what you want to hear about. So we are going to be back on Thursday with a special guest. We'll let you know about that. So do not miss more of Ruvheneko. We'll be back, as I said, same time, same place. That's it from me. Good night for now. Be good. And if you can't be good, be safe.